because of how weak it looked in the end from VP. They managed to get it to all 24, but there was just an absolute capitulation towards the tail end.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get the show on the road. I'm excited for this one. All the stakes, elimination and advancement on the line, of course, to stage 2. So for all the marbles here, as I'm so glad to see Overpass finally get to cast it again since coming back in towards the pool. This was always one of the maps that I absolutely loved. Maybe not VP's Overpass, but in general, a map I loved. And they are going to be popping quickly towards this B site, but it works so well. Tenier, Youngster, Grix, all get involved in the action. And left down to 2 for Virtus.pro. Make that 1. Electronic joins his fallen comrades. And Perfecto, new boy on the block, 1v5. What have you got?
Can't even take one with him, really. Would be nice to just humble them slightly. And he's fully confirmed now, so surely his days are going to be numbered. Even LNZ giving him the space here, it feels like. As the swings will keep coming in, just keep that location confirmed. Quick goosh. He can get out of the way and just let his teammates clean up house. If they can all stay alive here, it would be really, really solid. Kind of anticlimactic here, just letting Perfecto direct. No one rushing into him. This is real min-maxing, I think, from Heroic to just not take these fights, not risk anyone going down. There we go. Eventually, the inevitable happens. But yeah, completely shut down there on the B-bomb site.
Let's play passives this round.
Could be good, man. Could be very, very good. I think Heroic, for me, they have a lot of potential in this team. A lot of young, up-and-coming fraggers. Nilo being another, right, that I think was turning heads when he joined this team, and then he just sort of didn't do anything, literally, you know, not just like on the server or anything. He just didn't even play the game. So yeah, a little bit of a strange start to some of these players, but there's a lot of potential here, I think. And Tenier was the guy before Grix was joining, you know, that everyone was like, yep, this guy's also kind of the real deal. So a lot of potential, and we're just waiting for these guys to break through that ceiling.
Yeah. Heroic have done so good on their rebuilds, right? It has been their narrative turned into a bit of a meme in a way. It's like, it doesn't matter what core they lose, they can still keep finding success. But this current iteration, really quite exciting. I think the jury's definitely still out on Nilo. I think especially when it's kind of like Nilo 4X Floud. I thought X-Rod had some real superstar moments when he was in this side. So I think the debate's still there about who is better in the side, but maybe it's arguably the skill ceiling higher for Nilo. I think that's what Heroic are banking on. I guess by the end of the season,
that one clip.
Yeah, exactly. The one, the Inferno one, is that the one you're on about?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, right? I guess in 6 months' time, end of the year, we'll come back to this conversation and say, right, was this the right choice? But for now, let's start with Virtus.pro here in Cologne. This should be a pretty easy shutdown. And it is massacre. Tenier, Grix, and Nilo all get into the action. Also, love the call there from Heroic too. Very, very calm. They just sit on towards the site. And actually, funnily enough, Grix said that in that little break in between round 1 and round 2. He said, guys, let's play passive. Don't even push towards playground, is what he said. They did exactly that. Nobody pushed. Everyone sat on the sides. They waited for VP to come as a group, and they mowed them down. Fantastic work.
Okay, here we go. Serious business. Can VP give us anything to be excited about? Or are Heroic going to be the ones in control early on? Nice utility out here. Maybe gone away and done a bit of work after their NIP game. Slow start from VP. Who would have thunk it? As they are just spotting for information, see if anyone's getting aggressive. But
oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, Still a few guys who might subscribe to that philosophy on this VP team. It was a big map for them at the Rio Major win.
Yeah.
So maybe trying to just bring some of that back. As it's something to lean on, something to rely on for sure.
They have players who can play quick. That flash, excellent. Nilo, no chance in hell. Grix, you're going to drop a Molotov, but actually it doesn't go where he intended. It just catches the corner. So maybe flossed it a little bit, the youngster. Down he will fall. Opening double, go the way of VP. And also, somewhat unsurprisingly, they don't commit off the back of it. They're going to reset, regroup. and see what options are open, maybe even towards B here.
Looks that way. And Heroic are ready for B. So I do worry slightly. There's a lot of damage done there. No kill comes in, but you can see they're already just not expecting these players. LNZ can't give us one more, but he's done a lot. He's done a lot for this round. Tanir brings it down to just one now.
15 seconds.
Headshot is all he needs. Swing comes in, and the spray is clean. Big round as the 3-on-5 goes the way of Heroic.
That's a huge conversion. And what a call as well in that mid-round to pull them back down towards that lower site. Especially off the back of 2 quick kills in quick succession towards the long. It looks like everything's set up for an 8 hit there. That's big. That is big. 5v3 indeed. And a 3-0 start for Heroic. Looking much better than what we did against NIP. I think that map and that series as a whole is probably going to plague their mentions for a while. For the bragging rights alone, they would have loved to have won that, but also just for stability here to kickstart their Cologne. But this is still, at the moment, looking okay. No buy for VP, so this should be a simple one to put a 4th on the board. 4 rounds, CT side, exactly what you want to see. The one big kind of caveat you got to take away is that for those who maybe haven't kind of tuned in with Overpass for a while, before it got taken out of the pool, Overpass was the most CT-sided map in the pool, statistically, by such a long way. We were talking about, I mean, we would have things saying, I mean, even when you look back towards Go, it was like an 11-4. You'd be like, yeah, that's doable. That's all right. You know what I mean? And we're still kind of in that spot where we would see things like a 9-3 T-side and a 3 rounds being on the T-side and be like, this is actually still pretty feasible. Cannot take your foot off the gas. So as much as this is a good start for Heroic, they've got to do a lot to build upon this. A lead heading in towards a second is kind of guaranteed. It needs to be.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's gone south real fast. Grix will stand strong at the back of Dice here, but the scope lets him down. He will survive that, which is paramount. He's a little hot right now, but he's just trying to hold on to the space here. Tanir comes in, looking crisp on the mechanics. It's all down to Electronic. Can't find the healthy player. If he had, maybe we'd be on, but not the case. Dicey, but held by Heroic.
Yeah. Tanir looks sharp, though. I think you're right. He's really, really looking good. Still early doors, but positive signs. Nice flick as well from Grix. He was tunnel vision the wrong way. If he was only single scoped, he probably spots that player into his bathroom and hits the shot, but doesn't matter. Win is a win, round is a round. It's Grix and Tanir leading the charge in terms of the numbers so far. We do have the buy back out for VP. Another attempt to get on the board finally. If they fall flat here, though, then we have to start having some quite stark conversations. We're probably even venturing in towards, and well, most likely venturing in towards that first tack timeout. And saying, all right, what's going wrong? Why can't we get around on the board here? Why can't we break down this defense?
VP just holding for the time being. A little bit of a fakeage at mid. Looks like it will be a B play, but little do they know, Mr. Tanir's on the other side. He's got a molly first, and he's got a smoke. VP, they're just happy to stand around, aren't they? It's kind of their MO at this point. Ready and waiting for the next exchange, which looks like some more short pressure, but this has been a good 45 seconds and not much map pressure from VP, so surprised that there's not anyone sat in behind. Tanir goes digging and he will lose his head. Listen, man, they will outweight you every time, and if you get impatient, VP are on the other side, ready to punish. LNZ's got one trade, but he's going to need more than that. He's lost all his compatriots here on the bomb site. The AWP is in pretty quickly. Will have been spotted here, and they opt not to give the peek back. Down goes LNZ. Flash ineffective, but surely enough space created to get the bomb down at the very least. Double nade onto default. Doesn't quite find the kill. Tag not there either. It's a bit close. It is a bit close, but not quite. Still looking to go for this here now. However, double swing comes in, and they lose out. patience pays off.
It is this big thing. I think you're absolutely spot on. This is actually where VP, come back to when we were casting them the other day, we were saying VP are such an uncomfortable side to play against, and obviously it always comes down to the pace, and as much as it's a meme, right, it's a very legitimate style of play, and especially young but inexperienced sides, they're more likely to fall for these traps. That's what VP do best. They bait you into fights that you don't want to be taking, but it's too late. So here's that first round. Here's that chance for them to build with. So looking for Perfecto to get on the board. 0-4 for him. Flash round, Grix gets out. Just drop a smoke. The best way as well that we see a lot of teams break down VP. I mean, there's basically there's two thought processes here. You either really fight them, right? You're taking such an aggressive stance, but I think it's incredibly risky. Or you fight fire with fire and you wait them out, right? And that's when they also start to fall a little flat in their own regard. If you try and go for these sort of mid-round plays, they will punish.
Yeah, it works, man. It does work. I think the percentage of them has maybe dropped. But if you don't make or add any variables to a round, the numbers continue to favor you, right? It's a very curious way to play the game. Is there a way in which you can just game theory rounds, but you also have the mix-ups in your back pocket, and that's exactly what they have here. Contact flash is also super effective because you expect them to be slower, and telegraphed, utility over the top. Here comes the execute. Well, no, it's just a flash and a burst, and it also works very well indeed for VP.
It's so simple. Again, play time, kind of whittle down that clock and just catch them off guard. Such a simple double entry as well, like you mentioned. One flash, one molly. It's as easy as that. Fame, I love the call to hunt. Don't know if his shoulder was spotted, but he'll swing in or lose his life. So an AK recovered is something. Either way, it's VP up to a second now, and they're still looking for a little bit more. I can count on that. You've got a bit of money to work with, and why not? When you're going to go 2 for 1 there, to near all that's left, he will be given the luxury of surviving, but that's basically all they've got to work with. That heroic economy shot. You have 3 stay alive, you can buy back in. Only the 1. No chance. They're going to go for an eco here around that M4. A great round. Simple, super effective, and that's a bit of a VP classic.
Yeah, really well done. Still a gap to be closed here, and still a chance for Heroic to just sort of adjust. I think you have to be confident in your own plays and not be like on edge all the time.
Yes.
And that's where VP can catch you off and not go for the play that you think you should be making, and just come up with a bit of a game plan and stick to that. Maybe some early round aggression as well could be super effective, but this is where Heroic's lack of experience on this map is just not going to help. Everyone's died, except Tanir, the man with the M4. So he might be able to get a couple stats here by virtue of having sold his team down the river, but the round itself is just not going to happen. He seems to have an idea that he's in here as well. That wall's a little thinner than I think he remembers. He will be spammed down pretty damn low. Door opens. Perfecto finishes. Looking good here for VP, man.
Yeah. Honestly, these rounds have been taken quite nicely. And you can see why Heroic got for a timeout here, right? Next gun round coming through, but they've lost control of this 3 in a row. And for the most part, quite comfortably, especially these last 2 for VP. Not a lot to complain about at all. So, Heroic still in a good enough spot, but you can see why they're really prioritizing this conversation. And of course, getting the coach Tobias into the conversation himself, see what we can do to help out LNZ. How do we break down VP? Also, the fact that we're starting to see rounds really be put on the board for this T-side for VP, very good signs of them and this map looking good. Like we said, before its removal, it was so CT-sided. VP looking okay. So buy back in. and falls across the board, but even Utah's a little slim, so if required on a retake, they might struggle.
Again, starting pretty far back here on the VP side of things. Waiting to see if any aggression does come. You know, Heroic on a 3-round loss streak, just taking a timeout. You would expect some kind of a play, but not the case. Trade is there. However, the 1-for-1 always feels a little difficult to make work, and Nilo has to be careful with how he plays things out from this point. They will drop back. They feel like they've got decent enough B control to go for a move over here.
Tanib setting up the pot flash. Another molly that comes down, and also it ticks as well. This information gathered. Heroic, they've got to know. Youngster spots one. Smoke will come down now as well. That'll give him the chance to get out if he wants to. Youngster turns away the worst possible time as Electronic cracks open the B site. Nilo is here and needing a second. Really, as we're now back into 2 versus 2. We'll call for a pause. We haven't got the bomb as well, guys, so we need to kind of pick that up and then commit with it. I mean, they don't have time to rotate away, so individual prowess called upon as Electronic flicks for a third. What has he got for us? Perfecto! Didn't need to be running like that. It's Griggs the new boy with a 1 versus 2. Perfecto. That was such a lazy swing, and it made it all too easy for Griggs to react and to find.
Solid stuff. They will hold on, and really well played, I think, from Heroic to, again, just not panic as much. It does come a bit close for comfort. And there you go. They feel happy about that one. So we'll see if they can hold on to this lead. The VP style, this is the thing. Once you get a little accustomed to it, it can be awkward. It can be an adjustment, but all of a sudden they lose a lot of the fear factor. And so they have to go back to the drawing board themselves.
Okay. 2-round buffer. Yeah, just one more as well for Heroic. Gonna reinstill so much confidence in you where, you know, worst case scenario, even game at the halfway point. And I just think for them on Overpass, considering how the last one went for them, you'll take that. Nothing really for VP to work with just yet. And bottom far from committed as well. As you'll pick it up. Where we going? We got a little in route towards B. Bit of util testing towards A. This still feels like a B hit though. No long or bathrooms presence. The old tried and tested for VP, it seems.
Yeah. Rinse and repeat. Small changes as they have conditioned things up. I suppose an LNZ was in the right position, but he gets seen, still finds a kill, which is kind of mad. I thought surely he was a dead man. So they've got that at the very least. The short control coming in, a bit more presence in that factor. Youngster close to the smoke here. They will time it well in Monster and try and keep them at bay. Tanir, meanwhile, holding for short. They're going to know that the MP9 is down here. Nilo, he's rotated around with a quick find here. Looking for a little bit more tough head angle. In comes the short player. He's blinded himself up. He has managed to cross into the sandbags, but Icy is there and ready. The USP is not enough. It's Icy with the spin to get it done. Goodness me. I mean, it looked like they could have stopped the bomb plant. I'm pretty sure he flashed himself. Oh, God. Panic ensuing again, and they never leave your mind, VP. Always there.
That's heartbreak, especially because LNZ opens up the round as well. You're thinking, okay, now we've got numbers. That kind of quick trade that comes through is fine, but it's so chaotic in the back and forth. Timeout to be taken here, the first for Virtus.pro as well as Finn. The coach will entering towards the fray, but that's not bad at all, man. Credit to Icy. A bomb plant and a couple of kills, and you got a feel for Nilo there. It felt like he had a chance and slightly squandered, but maybe that's just the narrative for Heroic itself. 1-round game. Again, leads are taken. It's still kind of in favor of Heroic, but This is probably where it then gets leveled. You look at their buy. They've gone for a force, double MP9, 5.7 Deagle, and just a FAMAS. A little bit of util around it. Not terrible, but if they're forced into any sort of retake, they've surely got no legs to stand on. The VP, prime opportunity, tied this game up, 5 rounds apiece.
Up close and personal here. Nilo has actually slipped through the cracks, potentially. Yeah, Perfecto has no idea. Sort of prepared to take a fight there, but still a little lazy about it. I see taking one. It's Grix who comes in with the important frag, as yet to be traded. If he can get one more, we're maybe on for a round. The crosshair looked good, but he doesn't quite land the headshot. Sets it up, however. Nilo trading things out. 2 on 3 now. Bomb recovered, but no map control at all for VP here. They will be left to just walk their way up. Utility for both these players, but doesn't look good to me.
Yeah, it's back turn flare. No idea. So Fame, 1v3. Nilo's got himself an AK-47. Now so has Tanir. Tanir with the AK is the big one for me. He's probably going to close this on his own unless Fame's got some serious heroics up his sleeve. Tanir. Oh, sharp swing and a fight. 1v2, 35 seconds. Bomb on his back as well. But door closed and Youngster round this corner. He's going to go dry. Yes, he is. And that'll be at the cost of his life. Nice response from Heroic. Wow. That's a really, really big round to be taken, considering the buy they brought to the table. That they've done such a good job of isolating fights.
Yeah, across the board, actually. Solidly done. And yeah, I think Perfecto knows. He was like, I kind of thought there was a guy there, but played it a bit lazy and lost the key fight, potentially. 6-4. Heroic indeed holding things. As you say, a CT-sided map. Maybe that's the way it'll develop. Game feels like it's gone a bit more T-sided. Hard to say how it'll converge, but all the same, Heroic having a lead is a good sign here that they're not just going to get absolutely flattened on map 1.
There, flash on the corner. Nothing spotted, but that can't be information that you rely on. As we know, Flit tucks in towards Cubby there, and a Molly will confirm that. So, nice little due diligence by LNZ just to double check that spot. Followed by an A, but Flit's already got out of there. This double setup in towards bathrooms, really like this. Nilo doesn't need to peek, but the peek alone might net him 2. Third is there and taken. Nilo, great work. Could have just stood still, and it actually probably would have been equally as strong of a setup, but makes a bit of a move, lines up 3. Beautiful work. That's surely the round already done, and, well, the lead probably guaranteed for Heroic too.
Yes, I think they might even move to save here. And to be honest, it feels like it is your only option, so getting out of hands. No parties at the moment. Little elephant guy. Overpasses Labubu.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you. Oh,
that's the only reason I brought it up.
Cancel this man.
I knew he would hate it, guys. I knew he would hate it.
Bloody Labubus. Are they worth like stupid money now as well?
Yeah, because it's like sort of a loot crate logic, you know?
Oh, it's random.
Yeah.
I saw loads when I was in Shanghai like a couple of months ago. I didn't realize. I could have been ahead of the bell curve. Could have just bought all of them, brought them back. Little did I know, who needs a casting career? I could have just been shipping Labubus, but...
Well, indeed, mate. Indeed. Sorry to bring it up, but, you know, it's just everywhere.
You sent me off kilter
online like us. Yeah, he's going to be killed for the rest of the cast.
Labubu charms coming soon. To a CS2 near you. I'd lose it. I'd actually lose the plot, but let's see. 7-4. Lead taken by Heroic. And a 3-round buffer that they've built upon. And you look towards VP now as well. Double AK, double Tech 9, and a Deagle heading into the final round. It's not beautiful, but that flash is Youngster. Exquisite supporting util. A swing from Tanir, fantastic. Perfecto softened and actually hit very low with that HE. Love that.
Heroic looking really damn good here. There was certainly a couple of rounds where I was worried for them as VP just had their number, as can be the case. But as I say, they've sort of figured it out. They took a timeout. Maybe just a voice in there that steadies the ship. And since then, they have been looking very, very good. Another touchdown nade. Perfecto is 1 HP. So lucky to be alive. Tanir taking a heads-up fight. Doesn't win it, but they're gathering info. They're keeping them at bay, slowing them down. And if you can get in there and just mess up the VP timings a little bit, they already want to play a slow round. So if you just force them back and they have to wait a bit longer, that puts them under pressure. They don't actually have as much time as they thought.
Oh.
Fame. Oh, he's
Speaking
just
of
missed
timing.
out. Ahead. Around the corner. He's spotted, and there goes his element of surprise.
He probably should be dead in a mere moment. He's sort of being chased, but quietly as they're heading back towards B. He flits out. He's not going quite about it, but it's working for him. Griggs, nice find. Probably need another from him as he misses the second opportunity. Could maybe even wallbang through the boxes, but it does not matter. Round is a round. Who cares if they get a bomb plant? That is heroic. 8-4. A much, much better overpass than what we saw against NIP.
Yeah, looking very, very good. I think a solid run from them. And again, adapting on the fly, dealing with VP really well, which can be hard. You know, they can just get in your heads, especially these young players. A lot of energy to them. They want to take the early fights and get aggressive. And sometimes you just have to play the safe game while also digging for info. It's hard. It's very hard indeed. Heroic might just be able to do it. We'll see you after the break.
They look like they can go on forever. And it's only the first map.
My brain feels like scrambled eggs after that marathon. Seriously, how do you recover from this?
I don't know, man. Looks like a long run. We need a quick reset.
Hey, cheer up, boys. It's only a best of 5. Refuel yourself.
Oh, that was so saucy.
So creamy.
You were talking about the clutch, right?
Yeah. You?
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome back. Well, safe to say a very solid first half from Heroic and much, much better than how this tournament started out for them. And actually the flip side to what we saw from VP. VP uses as a punish to open up their story in towards IEM Cologne, and now looking pretty off their game. Let's see if they can bounce back in the second half. A pistol round would go a long, long way here as they move on to what is generally seen as the more preferential CT side of Overpass.
Yeah, Heroic just getting a bit annoying, weren't they? Prodding and poking, messing up VP's game plan, and it works very well when they're allowed to do what they want. But if someone throws a little spanner in the works, it can get a bit harder. A little 1-for-1 here. In the connector, yeah, that's kind of awkward. It's also the utility mule. They'll be after him with the retrieved Julies. So they have to be very careful here. Got to find the kills on the site. Nice and clean and perfecto. Anything but for Heroic. It's down to just LNZ. He's got a Molotov, but no bomb and no friends. Not looking good.
Spot of Perfecto. He's got to try and isolate fight here. It's such a big ask. He gets tagged as well. No armor. I mean, what do you actually do in a spot like this? 40 seconds is what he's got to work with. And right idea, I guess, for LNZ to keep eyes trained towards heaven. That's another tag. Now going to cross. Spoke about that molly. I could use it to clear out in towards Cubby. That will be the case. Will it trickle down? It will. Who cares? A shot in the side. Perfecto will close it. VP bite back. Much, much better.
Yeah, exactly what the doctor ordered as well. Really nicely set up in con. And then executing to just drop the bomb. That is the one thing, right? If only that bomb had been more in the pack, it might have been a different story. All the same, they do very well with the cards they are dealt. Heroic ecoing it out. I'm going to go for the early AKs.
Okay. I like the score, though. Those three staying alive as well towards VP. You know there's going to be at least one M4, if not two, of course, with those sort of meta changes that have come through. You're seeing a lot more M4s in the second round. Flit, he is mere pixels away from the fight. The first and the second UMP, that's money in the bank. That gun's got a little bit more favorability recently since the MP9 changes. I'm still not a fan, but Flit obviously is.
Looking good while doing so. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. I just think the fire rate, right? The MP9 gets so many bullets down.
Yeah. It feels so clunky, the UMP.
Yeah. Okay. Electronic. Going on his jollies. Will lose his head. Kind of a wild push from him. It does give a kill back. And I mean, one more like that. And maybe we're on for a bomb plant here. Moneymaker as well in the hands of Grix. So every move has a ripple effect if they're not careful. Perfecto going to hear all these footsteps. I think that's the bomb briefly spotted as well. But what is the plan here? Just trying to get Grix some money, really, on this MP9. Surely nothing coming. 20 seconds remain. Will eventually make their way up towards the A-bomb site here. Lining up nicely for Icy. And just give the respect across, I think. Yeah, don't take any wide swings, and it ends up being a minimal cost round for VP.
Yeah, that's what you want to see as well. Rounds like that where your opponent have not brought a lot to the table. Just make sure it's simple. Make sure it's nice and easy, and it is. Also money in the bank for them too, right? UMP getting a double, that'll go a long way. 8-6. Two-round game. This gun round, very important for that of Heroic. You win this, you're going to build upon this lead and put the pressure right back on towards VP. You lose it, the game more or less gets tied up. So it's incredibly important here. The VP, probably the most important round they've played so far, and it does not start well. Fame gets caught in no man's land. Where are we even going, mate?
Yeah, dangerous here, isn't it, on the bonus? These rounds are very, very important. LNZ looking to lead the pack here. Meanwhile, Flit. Still this first line of defense, potentially. We can just stop them crossing in. The A setup feels very split. They are worried about long, but an early kill for Heroic means that they are the ones now that can just wind things down. And they will do just that. Getting in position. are they going to dedicate here to the A play? You can just see VP starved of info, man. Wildly throwing utility where it's not really needed. And I think that's going to give a lot across. Electronic had actually started to abandon A by the looks of things. Flick goes down really easily. That'll be the A bomb site compromised, and these B players are barely moving. I think it will be a save once this plan is confirmed.
I don't really know what you do here. So I think you're right. Just try and shell up somewhere. Even saving on towards B itself can bring inherent risk. They might even try and push all the way forward, kind of through Monster a little bit, but still, Heroic, really nice round. Flawless as well on top of that. Not exactly what we want to be seeing. Looking over towards Heroic as well. Tanier being quite instrumental when it comes towards the opening duels. For him, 3-1. Nilo as well, also entering into the fray every now and again, being a part of 4 himself, split 2-2. In terms of the numbers department, Nilo, Tanier, Grix, all looking fantastic. Normally we'd actually look for a little bit more at a youngster, but he's not being called upon as much, and of course, he was also not getting tested as much, or not successfully, for him in that first half. On the T side as well, there's a bit more of a kind of supporting element towards these sort of hero riflers. I don't normally expect him to be too much in the thick of it. In a sense, a good predicament that Heroic are in. They've got a 3-round buffer, they're 4 away from taking the map. Their opponent's map pick. All signs look very, very good. Now, we've been bringing up this NIP loss as well. 13-9 it was. That was actually Heroic's pick. So it's definitely a map that they're obviously confident and comfortable picking into. They just didn't show it. This is looking a lot better.
Yeah, Ash mentioned something really interesting on the desk that I'm sure we've like theorized about as pundits, is that people like practice these maps in a certain way. Then when it comes to the officials, they play like totally differently. So when you're scrimming, I think that they do try a little tactical, you know, to just throw you off and be like, oh, okay, so when we play those guys at the next tournament, last time we scrimmed them, here's all the notes. They like playing passive, they like playing heavy B defaults or whatever. And then when the actual game gets going, they're just completely different. Maybe as well, like anteing what they did in their scrim against you. So I think sometimes it just takes officials to get official experience. You can't really simulate that in any way. So there's maybe a little bit of that coming in for Heroic, that it's just like, oh, they are playing completely against what we believe to be the philosophy and the way that they played last time we scrimmed them, etc. So those opening few officials on a map that you've put work into especially can be quite hard to work with and quite hard to adapt to.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean. 25 seconds. Now or never, guys. Got to go. Nilo, round the corner. Not good for the first as well. It's Fame up close, ready for it. Icy flashed off the angle into the UMP up close. Look at this crossfire. Out towards long as well. There's just no chance in hell. What a shutdown. Might not be flawless, but it feels more or less as good as Flit just toying with his food. Looking at him. And he'll get his kill. What a round for VP. That is much more like it. Decimation there. And it will force Heroic into a quick second timeout.
Yeah, he was most certainly waiting for time to run out. Kind of hilarious. Either way, a really solid round from VP when map life on the line, it felt like. And the fact that they're able to do it in such a dominant fashion feels pretty good to me. There will be some time taken here. Heroic's buy is workable, but it's right down to the bottom of the barrel. So they've got to get this next one. Otherwise, it will be VP with that gap close.
Let's see. What have you got off the back of the attack pause? Does need to be something a little bit instrumental here. Money not looking good in the long term, of course, for Heroic. So VP have given themselves that lifeline of you win this, you get gifted the second. As is so common in situations like this. So early information gained there by Electronic. It's a bit of a nade, but he drops a molly and he'll slow things down. Won't be caught by Tanier just yet. He was looking on that pixel for information. Not a huge amount to work with just yet, but also Heroic don't need to be too fast-paced either. In a way, them joining VP in this slow roll type of T-side executes can also be very effective.
Just the one downstairs at B. Playing for information at the moment. Bomb's going to start joining them now. Just about enough utility to get the execute going. There's 3 on this B bomb site, though. It's always a bit scary. Will start moving away. Electronic. He's restless, this guy. He was doing the same on A a few rounds ago. He's up and down. It is towards heaven, so he can still help out, but easily smokable. Should be smoked, to be honest. I think it would be remiss from Heroic to not smoke heaven. But here we go. Flashes over first. The smoke will be a little bit late, so keep your eyes on these players and the kill feed where they come from. It's actually Electronic up top that keeps them in it. The hold itself, nowhere near clean enough. So we take it back. He knows what's up. And they go ahead of that heaven smoke. It could end up costing them here on the edge. They push through. Beautiful little move. Trade will be there onto 1. Is the info that both of them are coming from ABC? Not quite sure just yet. Maybe now, as the AWP rings off, they will know. LNZ, how do you beat him here? It's such a difficult angle. Charging in, and he will indeed punish. So challenging to deal with him. And he capitalizes. He had the spot. He knew the round was in his hands.
Yeah, well done. Really, really well played. I gotta say, this is something you kind of touched on. That hold towards B, so weak. I don't think Flit needs to swing them. Perfecto, I can sort of give him maybe a bit of a kind of a remissal in a sense, but Flit's swing around pillar feels so unnecessary. Even him just playing that position and just trying to dance, or even committing to holding one angle, right? Whether it's kind of the swing on towards bridge or whatnot. It goes a long way, and of course it's easy to say that with the benefit of hindsight, but he just swings out and is so exposed. Doesn't get away with anything. So, double digits. 3 ahead, 3 away. A familiar feeling, I'm sure. But Heroic really now in reaching distance of this map. Their opponent's pick again, I remind you. VP still not showing that cutthroat nature about them that we have actually seen at times with this tournament. And one win in particular.
Oh, peekaboo. Flit does spot them there in the connector. Again, Heroic not pulling any punches here, as they will continue winding things down. Heaven smoke comes in. It's a fake. Just keeping attention on B. Not sure that that's really enough to, like, draw attention necessarily. But we'll see here. Latter moments of the round. Only 30 seconds left. Icy on the spot. They've opted to play a passive, and they're going to have to make sure that this works for them. Icy clean for the first. Drops back. It's looking good. It's looking very good indeed. As, yeah, straight into the lion's den here. So many guns on the other side. They've just done nothing to break them apart. No contact flashes or anything. So VP absolutely gifted a round, and it felt like this would have been the end of the map if they lost it.
Yeah, it's such a simple setup. I mean, real credit to VP. It's a pure numbers game on that side, and a small amount of util that slows down Heroic. It's a massacre towards top side, so well done, really, really well done. That's one of those rounds as well that leaves you a little reeling if you are Heroic. Not only in terms of what is going to be ultimately an untimely time to run out of money, right? The buy, of course, is going to be a little brutal. AK AWP, Mach 10 and a few Tech 9s, but also a round that leaves you reeling just because of how easily you folded. A site looks locked down so far as the B site with the vulnerabilities remain. A lot of heavy lifting has to be done by Nilo and Grix.
All right, let's see. Do they have any of these sort of pocket set rounds that you might expect out of a team that have secretly been working away on Overpass? At the moment, it looks like VP are more the ones trying to direct. Contact flash. Take the peek. and he's out of there. So kind of an interesting move from Fame, and he's all the way out of there as well. Dips into B, rotating round on to A. So no early exchange just yet. Very tense these past few rounds.
Electronic going to play up close. Nice timing on the smoke. He can try and play up behind it here. Oh, Grix. Patience, a virtue as Fame fumbles a chance to jump it across, but there we go. Electronic, we spoke of that bomb spill forward as well, but I see overwhelm. Nilo gets 2. We needed heroics, we said, from Grix and Nilo specifically in this round, and look what they found. 2 for Nilo, an opener by Grix as well, and Perfecto left all alone in a 1v4.
Crazy. The back and forth is really not what VP want. They need stability. They need control. And I think for a long time, they've not really had that. They've done well to pick up the odd few rounds, but it's heroic for me that have had the keen turnaround. As I mentioned in the previous half, there was a couple moments there where I was like, oh, this is not looking good. This looks like VP might just be able to do enough. Hold on. Okay, no kit available. I mean, could have got a little scary there because there was actually nobody around to stop him. But all the same, looking good, as Heroic will move up to 11 and Perfecto gets to keep his M4.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of the main thing in a small silver lining way, but really, really well done. I think Nilo, the 2 kills that he gets is just so important. At the tilter, if you are VP and, well, evidently 4th Flit as well, you want to hit the desk, but you just hold yourself back. 11 to 8. 2 rounds away now. Heroic inching closer and closer. A FAMAS required for LNZ, but there's still money left over. This is quite an important swing round, though. Swing round generally goes back to kind of a thing we've been building up throughout this game, but when you don't have any real long-term money built up, if you lose the round, you probably lose a second behind it. If that is to be VP lose this round, that's probably the map gone with it too.
Yeah, I think so. And then, as we sort of commented on pretty heavily, the rest of the series looks tough for VP on paper. So if you can't even take your own, what do we expect from them? I don't know, this psychologist maybe going to have a lot of work to do if they check out after going up, really, really nicely. That first game against Tyloo was lovely and clean. But anything but since then, to be honest. I think they've barely had a map that looks like they should win. Always been on the back foot. Nilo to find the first and the second. In comes the entries. He will keep them coming. And it's all down to Perfecto and Flit. Feels like to save the map here. And I don't know that they'll necessarily want to.
I mean, that's right there is why Nilo was brought in towards his side as well. Brilliant. His 20th kill now as well. Absolutely in the charge. Of course, like we said, the jury's still been out on him and whether that move with X-File was the right one, but it's maps like this which prove exactly why they've gone for it. Flit's probably dead here as well. Oh, reactionary shot from Young. Somebody will nail it. And it's Perfecto again to save, but I mean, again, look at that money, like we said. Only 1 being kept alive is not good enough. Will Young's a clear close right? Probably not, so he's surely dead here. And is. An AK maybe to be recovered. Nilo looking for his 4th. They're going to hunt him on the way out. And outrage, he will just go down. Final half a second, Nilo gets a quad kill to most likely close the map with it too. VP are reeling there, falling so unbelievably flat. And another big thing as well is because it's been a back and forth nature, at least if Heroic was streaking here, VP would have lost bonus. Lost bonus is still being here, there, and everywhere. It's been back and forth, back and forth. No stability, no security, and minimal investments. Triple MP9, FAMAS, and a 5-7 for Electronic to round it out. And Util so slim too. Double smoke, double flash, and HE. Don't even have a kit.
Yeah. Again, going to have to call upon the Counter-Strike gods that wander these halls. But we'll see. A real difficult run here. And VP just never getting going in this second half in particular. Boost comes in. Not going to stand. It would have been the heaven find, but LNZ still gets Perfecto on the site. Oh, doesn't quite land. I thought even a leg there, but no, doesn't land. So maybe a little bit of something for VP to work with. They've got 3 on B still, and an advanced position from Fame watching behind. So setup doesn't look too bad. I think the bomb is going to come their way in just a few moments. Nicely timed smoke. IC, meanwhile, does get finished off. Not looking good here as they are slowly being picked apart. The MP9s can't activate in time. There is one taken up top, but it's just not going to help. Nobody else has chimed in. Fame's got an AK, but down he goes, and Heroic will take it. And they make it look pretty damn easy there in the end.
Yeah, nice noise as well. Exactly what you want to see for Heroic. Much better than what we saw from them against NIP, and this is showing why they want to put this map in their pool, right? And for Virtus to make a big difference, and he did. And I think, you know, we already touched on it. Nilo, I thought was absolutely fantastic. He looks so solid. His stats on map number 1 were brilliant. Grix, so reliable too. Having players like that stepping up in the way that they did, really awesome to see. So we're live. T-side start for Heroic. And their map pick on Mirage, and they're looking like they might just go for a quick B play. I say that. We're going to get a little bit under control from Nilo here. But I'm going to stick around towards B apps.
Yeah, maybe something in that. A well-timed smoke here from VP. Oh, Fame on the other side with the Julies as well. They'll burst forward straight into his hands, but they play it pretty cleanly there for the trade. The Molotov will keep them at bay for now, but they've got short presence coming up. Are they going to be ready for more players? It looks like they will indeed. Check their angles, but Perfecto, again, looking good here on the USP. Has he done enough to keep them in proceedings here? Electronic back end trying to help his man out. IC, meanwhile, on the site, not looking as clean, but Electronic is here. Grix loses his head, and it is the veterans of VP that keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you get Perfecto in your side as well. So good as an anchor, but he just buys time for the rotations to come over. Really well done. Dancing around, but those 2 kills alone go such a long way. But you're right, you know, Electronic again stepping up. That last shot in particular, really nice. So 2 for Electronic, 2 for Perfecto. And Fame getting into the fray as well. That quicker B pop shut down, honestly, relatively effortlessly too, which not quite what we want to be seeing for Heroic. They try and go for a quick play to really set that tempo as well, right? Really kind of put VP on the back foot nice and early, but they were ready for it. Looks like they've shrugged off at least a little bit of map number 1, but they're going to go back to back. We're heading back to B. If it didn't work the first time, how about the second? It might be more of the same. Is this arguably the definition of insanity? Potentially do the same thing again, expecting different results. And the results exactly the same, arguably even worse. Flawless for VP. Nothing gained towards B.
Not the best of starts for Heroic, but VP exactly what they needed, right? To just give themselves some breathing room, if anything else. That being said, it's simple stuff here from Heroic. You can't read too deeply into it, so what do you expect moving forwards? Is there anything fresher on the cards? This, of course, a comfortable map for them, regardless of it being their pick. They'd probably argue one of their favorites, especially in recent memory. They haven't played it yet at Cologne, worth noting. Flipped with a keen find. Oh, LNZ with one of his own, though, on that Deagle. So just got to be careful not to lose too many players here.
Yeah, let's not things fall for nothing, right? You just don't want a round like this to be expensive. There's 1, even like 2 casualties, maybe it's okay. Any more, though, and that's where Heroic can actually take small sort of internal victories from it. And it does have a knock-on effect, and it will have a knock-on effect later down the line for VP's economy if this gets a little expensive. So, got to be a little careful, but looks like they'll be fine. Yeah, nice shutdowns. So they're going to find one more of his own. Any more feels unlikely, and it is. Fame for the trade. Couple of casualties. That's fine. That's okay. And this is a good start for VP3. Out the gates, nice and simply as well, and this next gun round, very important. If Heroic don't find it, they're going to be starting off this map at a real deficit.
Yeah, it feels like we got here fast as well. Much quicker moves than it was on Overpass, I'll tell you that much for free. And Heroic maybe trying to play into that a little, the old conditioning game as the pistol goes against them. So we'll see if they're able to make anything of that. Quick mid control. They will still get aggressive here. No window smoke. I'm not sure if that is kind of intentional. It looks like there's one in front of window. It's a little hard to tell these days, but there might be a miss smoke. Might just be a miss smoke.
Nilo, speaking of smokes, might try and push through this one. He's all alone here, though. It's the only issue with it. That smoke will hit electronic as he's just passing by. Here's that window smoke that comes through. I know he's somewhere in there. That would have been heard and relayed by Tanir. And it does have a somewhat sizable gap. Molly. This is going to make fame through the flames, and it will force on a fight. They probably didn't want to take. Youngster pounces coming through Palace, but only good for one as he gets traded off. Perfecto nearly getting a third as well. Not a bad effort, but a diving flip feels so unnecessary. And I see all he can do here is save so much damage dealt. But a 1v3 retake with an AWP, no chance in hell. And look at this actually as well. Tanir's already here.
He's prepped. Yeah, he scoped in. He was ready. Still, his life is on the line. They know that he's not really got any of a chance to get in towards the bomb site. He's a little aware. He's a little aware. He's definitely noticing things here, but is he going to be ready for the side swipe? The answer is no. And that AWP will go down. Just not enough time to save for him. So there you are. Heroic on the board. Listen, man. Perfecto in his element. He looked clean. He nearly got 3. But nobody else able to assist him.
Perfecto is such a secure lockdown anchor. That diving through the smoke.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In mid, I mean, it feels so unnecessary. He could have... I felt like even if you just fall away towards CT and reset, it has a lot more security around there, but not to be. I don't think they spotted him jumping down. The nade should indicate that he did. And Flit does somehow get away alive. Little damage, sure, but alive. Ultimately, all that matters. LNZ. So if that comes down, he wants to play out in front of, but Perfecto is there, so aware of the possibility. Opening kill that goes the way of VP, and a lot of damage dealt to both Grix and Nilo. Not to start to round number 5 they wanted. They really wanted to build momentum here, and if anything, it might get stopped short at 1.
Yeah, that would be pretty painful. But we'll see. Still enough players. Still enough space to work with as well. VP giving a lot across here. Flit is ready for anything. Youngster. Timing's good, and the first few bullets landed, but he just couldn't finish his dinner there. Flit's patience will pay off, so looking better and better as the round goes on. The AWP was trained, hoping for a wide swing. Nothing coming. Bomb as yet to commit in. Lovely little double peek there to connector, and it's Grix on the AWP. Flashback to the previous round. It's just the other way now. Icy couldn't survive. Can Grix? 30 seconds to save here. I think surely not.
Yeah, he's got to get hunted. Especially knowing it's the AWP. Nice shot though on towards Flip. Flash over, but that'll be it. Seen off. Good rounds from VP. That one, it just feels like for Heroic in that specific round as well, they're wanting a couple of things to go really right for them. Push up from Palace here. You already did that sort of in the previous round. Going for it again feels sort of unreasonable. And they just get stuck. They're trying to find advantages through slight gimmicks rather than just a nice little setup. And VP are more than happy to take these sort of rounds and shut them down. So an AK is all they've got to work with. For a youngster, that's as good as it gets. Let's not get the pistols around it. He breaks open that smoke. No one towards mid. They're grouping under.
Flit is somewhat ready. He's got his head on a swivel, though. Oh, he's just spotted there. Molotov goes down. It's not really going to give him the space that he requires, and a quick flick from Youngster makes this look scary. Fame. They're coming for him, and he will go down. This is not good. Icy on the AWP does have eyes on some key locations, but also needs to be careful not to lose them, I guess. 2-man advantage now. Still weaker weaponry. They've not had chance to scoop up that AK.
Yeah, this is the issue.
Would have been nice.
They're being covered from recovering those guns. That's the one thing that really makes it so difficult. Now there's a gap, but they don't know about this. They're heading towards B, so are VP. So again, we call upon Youngster, or potentially the Deagle of Nilo, to get a kill. So now would be a nice time. There's the first Youngster and Nilo, the two names I brought up, both the first two falling. Grix will follow suit as well. Great mid-round from VP. Starts badly, but they drag everybody over towards B. They gamble, and it's the right call. The bomb's making a move, though. But thankfully, so is Electronic.
Still, all-important kill. We'll see here. Electronic, don't mess it up. Yeah, the aim punch is enough. And Tinner on the backside. What can he get done? I mean, he should be able to get a backstab here. He will indeed. 10 seconds. Bit awkward. Probably wants to die, but decides just play it safe, and there's no point risking the attempt at death, and then the timer goes, and then you actually die, and, you know, it'd just be a whole mess. So M4 not too bad. He does have a bit of armor. It'll need a full upgrade regardless, but here we are. Heroic going to be kicking themselves a little bit that they couldn't even get a bomb plant there.
Yeah. Time out going to be taken. Pretty understandably so why Heroic are calling for this. They're in a bit of hot water right now, and it's not a comfortable time. They are, of course, going to get that reinvestment that comes back through and the buy, but it's one that has to be found. And not only that, it has to be the start, right? You know, we need to get a round on the board and then many more to kind of follow it just to keep the pressure on towards VP. Right now, they're pretty effortlessly running away with things. So a tough predicament. And a really awkward spot, I think. And this is where we go back to a conversation that me and you have had plenty of time, right? Where you talk about Mirage as a pick. Because of the fact that everybody knows, if you start slow, you really struggle to find your form back into it. We're seeing that now for Heroic. So, with Tobers and the intervention, can he change the tides for this T-side?
Oh, Flit with the find, man. Felt like a very risky move, but this is good signs from VP. If we can get those early kills going, they're in for a very, very smooth ride. Icy trained, spotting the player before he moves out. Perfect angle from Icy. Flash comes in. Oh my goodness! It is beautiful from VP here. Just Tanir and Youngster remaining. They've managed to thread the needle up Con. That's about all they've got going for them at the moment, but desperation sets in and no kills for Heroic.
Yikes. I mean, that's a tough watch, right? Just off the back of a pause as well. For it to be that flat is really quite damning. So nice shots that get hit, but I think you're spot on. The util usage was perfect too. Individual fights being taken for Heroic, not what you want to see. There's just no synergy, it feels, for this side. And they're brought once again back down to Hero AK being the best that they can bring to the table. This is a horrible spot that's developing. This T-side is next to non-existent. While Mirage always lent towards being slightly more CT-sided, not this CT-sided. VP look like a different beast entirely. And with their backs up against the wall, it feels like the Bears are at their scariest. Flip. We should be looking towards under. If you're going to be moving that way, he doesn't. That's a gun gifted over.
Electronic ready here, though. He knows. Spam does distract him away a little. Doesn't quite know what's going on, and Nilo will capitalize. The AWP up on the booth has kept this round alive for VP. Contentious. As LNZ's got an advanced position towards B, goes driving in. Somehow still alive. Goodness gracious. Some missed moments here. LNZ will eventually fall. Fame with a nice little smoke. Isolates some of the angles now. Is there even a chance at a bomb plant once again? Tanir making so much noise to spam through the smoke. Is so close to finding a kill. He is using the wall to his advantage, and the chaos that ensues looking very good here. How has Tanir made this doable? Icy onto the jollies, but Tanir takes his head clean off. What a move, what a round, and he's read it beautifully, just making so much noise, so much chaos.
That's sickening from Tanir. What a time for him to step up. 4 kills in the round for him. And so well isolated. You can just see he's tapping away to try and spam for the smoke, find where he is. I don't actually know. I there's a way to double check if I actually ran out of ammo there, because it feels so weird to be holding posted on that angle with dualies rather than the AWP. If he didn't want to attempt the reload in case he was swinging upon him, so he shot all 5 bullets, whatever it was, didn't work out. Flip. A lot of damage dealt towards him on the molly. Only thing with rounds like that, and as sick as they are for Tanir, you got to ask yourself that question once again. Is that a replicable round? The argument's probably no. So Heroic have still got to find better ways to win. And that is not a good start. Grix, he actually had the drop and it doesn't shoot initially.
LNZ gonna find a key kill though. Be bomb site again, looking vulnerable. And Perfecto at the back, trying to get the timing, and he will find the kill. I mean, he's looking really quite comfortable at the moment. And he keeps this one in the running. He will go down eventually. Surely set it up for the rest of the team, however, and indeed that will be the case. Fame comes in. Perfect timing, denies the bomb plant. Again, it is Perfecto though. It's beautiful to watch.
My God. They're making it look quite effortless in the sense of they're never giving Heroic the chance to chain rounds together. Looks like another pause will be taken here by Heroic, and very understandably so. But everybody having their moment to step up over towards VP, it feels. And they're actually doing it in a sense with a pretty even spread across the board. Perfecto at the top end, sure, with 11, but not a huge differential between this rifling core. Fame Electronic having their moments. Flip maybe lagging a little bit behind, but nothing even remotely comparative to the way Heroic are having it. It's so top heavy. Tanir, double digits for him with 10 kills. Second best being 4 for Grix and Youngster. Nilo on 1. Right? The guy who 21 kills he got in map number 1 and was lights out on Overpass is a shadow of his former self on their map pick of Mirage at a time where stage 2 is in their grasp. If they can recover to worst case scenario 8-4, but best case 7-5, it's fine. I don't think there's too much to be worried about. 9-3 or anything less, and we've got some stark conversations to have. Oh no, not again.
Moneymaker.
Yeah.
He's really
Maybe I need to pick this gun up, man. I feel like I thought it was terrible, but they're making it look quite good.
Yeah, wait a minute. We've had 2 pistol kills back. Electronics really low. They do have the bomb. We're about to find out how good the UMP can really be, I suppose.
True, this is the test.
AK for Tinner. He's making a lot of noise. Perfecto has been such a bail-out player. Can he do it again? Actually not getting super greedy for the bomb here. Just ready and waiting. Perfecto takes the peek. Tanir to trade. Question mark. Absolutely needs to, man. Heroic would be so happy with this round, but in flies Electronic on that UMP, and he does find the head instantly.
And it's, again, it's Perfecto bailing them out, isn't it? So patient there. Finds the first, and he just doesn't peek. He's just showing the barrel, just enough to keep attention drawn in. Like a cat with a feather, baits him in, keeping eyes on him, and lets Electronic pounce from behind. Beautiful, beautiful work. It should never have probably got towards that spot, let's be frank, but VP don't care. They're up to an 8th round now. This is a CT side that is looking exquisite. Heroic still ever so flat. I did say that this series felt like it had 3 maps written all over it, but I just didn't expect them to take each other's map picks. And that's how things are panning out right now. Heroic look dead on their map of Mirage.
Yeah, it is very surprising. And the rounds that are coming close are low buy, looser, faster sort of rounds. The guns have not really looked good enough. Let's see if that continues being the case here. They've got 2 more to make it 8-4, which is kind of that bare minimum serviceable half. Meanwhile, VP could close things out before the second half even gets going.
Okay. Moving up towards short here. Youngster alone. Oh, just an elbow spotted, but enough for Electronic to dip his head. So here's Mez waiting towards window. Flit seems aware of that possibility, but now he needs to be careful in other positions. He just gets pinned to the side swipe between two as Tanir will find the first kill for them. And look at the damage dealt towards both Tanir and Nilo. This gets funky, but Perfecto, no bailing them out here. Time ticking short, but bomb dropped and electronic called upon. Yuto raining down his position. It's back and forth. 2 versus 3, but 2 of which fill 1 foot in the grave. VP still have a chance.
Bombs hit the deck in an awkward spot as well. They just about managed to get that. Could be a spam here pretty easily. Tanir taking a risk on the plant, but he just sends it off center, and that means that he's unspammable. Keen shots hit by Heroic when the time matters. 3rd round. It's a lot to battle for just to get your 3rd round, but they are tooth and nail at the moment to remain in the conversation.
I don't know if we have a replay of it as well, but Grix jumping AWP shot as well. Just, he had a little laugh. He had a chuckle. He knew it was a little bit out of the ordinary. Yeah, there it is. It's like panic jumped and it's actually connected. Very lucky indeed. That panic actually could have really sealed things in the other direction. But 8-3 final round of the half. We said 8-4 is workable, and it looks like all signs point to that with that investment. This is, I honestly think, this is the first time, probably all game or map, that VP have actually had a broken econ, but they've had to go in for a lesser buy. So M4 FAMAS and 5-7s to round it out. It's not great, but it's still workable, especially these 5-7s, and especially with a gimmick like this. Electronic, I kind of love this. Ships in the night, they walk past. Oh, Electronic had the chance at 2, but only gets 1. It's a little chaotic, and now LNT holding for the flank, and the flank is there, but he really panics in the situation. Thankfully, Flick can only get 1. So Heroic, slight recovery to a 4th, but that script, they've got a real task ahead of them here. This has been still quite a flat Mirage.
Yeah, for sure. I think that round looks really, really panicked, but the site itself, there was not much going on. It was just connector seemed to be where the carnage was. But yeah, this is a long road ahead. VP taking their eyes off the ball ever so slightly. Hopefully a little timeout in between will quell the nerves slightly. We're going to take that break and we'll be back soon.
second half underway here. 8-4 in favor of Virtus.pro. And yeah, I don't know, Heroic just falling so flat comparatively to what we saw in Overpass, especially that second half of Overpass as well. Looks so good, but not seeing really anything of that here. The second half got to get underway pretty swiftly. A pistol round and a force fight to go behind it would be instrumental to still keeping the dreams alive of a 2-0 here and going to stage 2.
Yes, indeed. We'll see what they are made of as VP. A keen bounce back from them, to be fair. So maybe improvements already to the mental game. Tanir swinging round. They're tough fights, but just long enough range on the USP at the end of the day. 5-on-3 very quickly. Youngster with his smoke down, trying to stay alive. The Glocks will push him down, but maybe he's bought enough time for the rotations to come in. I think the answer will be yes. They also dedicate so many resources to bench that there's no space to get the bomb planted. Where have the CTs gone? Been absolutely written off. Nilo on 5 HP here. And the plant just not happening. However, Nilo closes the gap and he does not miss. Perfecto also falls, getting a taste of his own medicine.
Wow. I was sort of just about to say as well, I really hope Nilo doesn't peak. He's so low that I feel like they should try and play together. But arguably, thankfully, he does. Great swing. That first is fantastic. That's so sharp as well. So quick. They needed that. My God. Heroic. 5th on the board. And what should be a sick follow suit as well. We've got a hero Galil, and that's as good as it gets over towards VP. So to overcome a round like this, generally speaking, should be a simple task. Let's not get too confident now.
Nilo. Clean. Flip behind him. Is the danger man. Oh, yep. And gets him while he's dropping from the stairs. Doesn't get more annoying than that. Tanir kind of splits the difference. A little messy. But they'll hold the line. Gap closing quickly here. And indeed talking about the fact that it was a force buy. So they have a bit of an idea of where that cash money is at.
Yeah, exactly. They know it's going to be a low buy in towards the next. And they do have a bit of a freebie here. I don't love the force, but it was only, in a sense, a couple of them. They've gone, like I call it the hero Galil, right? I guess it's not really the worst thing in the world. And you can kind of go back in towards a Galil in that second round. It's just Fame who takes the hit here. Double Galil and the double AK, Flit and Perfecto. We look to them to try and lift them. Oh, Tanir, he spotted a pixel, deals damage, leg spotted too, but I think Nilo makes a very smart call there of just falling away. He's stuck between two different fights, and two fights he didn't want to take. LNZ wanted to take those, and my God, does he come out on top. That's a beaut. Perfecto and Flit, both the AKs, bye-bye.
Uh-oh. VP very quickly, their lead is under threat. Heroic, a completely different beast on the CT side of Mirage here. And this is maybe part of why they picked into it. They know they've got a complete game that they can rely on. VP, though, always a chance, never over till it's over. We like working the percentages, but with someone like Electronic still in there, he has it within him, and he's having a pretty good game here to just completely take over. And they found the perfect timing to boost up window. Fame fakes out the death cam. Grix is still ready.
30 seconds. We're creeping towards. Numbers favor. And VP trying to decide what's the best plan of action. Neither site feels secure as a pathway in. They've now got to commit towards A. No room at the inn for B. Electronic creeping his way forward. Sandwich not properly cleared for. So LNZ finds one. And Grix will close. Heroic. Nice work from them. This is a much better showing. The right way to start off a half. Looking very solid.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. VP just not helping themselves, to say the least. You know, the economic decisions, the ideas for the round as well, not really that deep. So just playing a really simple T side. They've let this gap close as much as Heroic have done the closing. So it's going to be 8-8, and they're going to need to turn things around big style. Heroic, just massive momentum in their favor. I really do worry for VP here, and the money's starting to build. Like, everything is just good for Heroic right now.
Oh, what is that? That's a disgusting little two-tap. While he's jumping across as well, Youngster's got to be seething that he's fallen there. I don't think he's even done anything inherently wrong. Beautiful little taps. Still, shouldn't have made that big of a difference, but they are going to double stack B off of that kill. EP are still grouping A. It's going to be Nilo and LNZ who have to step up huge here. LNZ's only got a Galil. Needs to be a little careful, but his pistols, one of which in Perfecto doesn't even have armor. In comes the util, and they can drag over rotations now as well. Can't block the smoke, so LNZ, he's going to commit to playing behind it.
Ooh, with a boost. With a boost, there you go. Able to find the kill. Thankfully, the weaponry is not that vicious to answer back. Bomb plant going to come in, though. I think they'll be happy with that. And there is, of course, still potential to take the round here if they play their cards right. They've found the area. Jungle is the spot, and there's no one around, so heavy clearance going to be required from Heroic. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's looking a little shaky here. Oh, big dink onto Tanir. How are they going to get back in? The bomb not planted for this CT side either. Tanir goes down. There's nothing smoke-wise available. They all go peeking in. Little close here, little dicey, but he knows he's not on it, and surely, yeah, just playing the time will be enough, and wow. Heroic let it slip, man. One smoke is really all they needed, I think, to just threaten the defuse, but they didn't have it.
Yeah, what a round to let slip in the way it let slip, right? I mean, it starts off with an opener, which is a great shot, don't get me wrong. This one here, beautiful stuff, but that's so tilting. But it's actually the fact that, you know, they instantaneously maybe over-rotate a little bit over towards B. Two bodies there, one playthrough mid, one towards A. So LNZ is then left on a bit of an island. He decides not to play in front of the smoke, but more behind it to kind of wait for rotations. And in a sense, that probably gives too much room for VP to set up. So really well played from VP. A round out of nothing, but Griggs trying to find kills out of nothing for himself. And he does. Nice opener onto Electronic. A quick response, what we want to see.
Yeah, just brush off the last one. Forget about it, you know, as hard as it sounds. Sometimes that is all it takes. And now with the first kill coming in, it all goes quiet on Mirage. Dust has settled. And VP find themselves with barely any control at all to work with. Up short, maybe. Tanir on the other side, a fight that he needed to win. The bomb wants to go B here, but I think it's going to be easier said than done.
So, under a minute now. It feels like there's a B split, but they can't go through short, so maybe not even a split, actually. Maybe just all three apartments. Molly towards Hellhole. That's, in a way, kind of just trying to cut off rotations, which it will do, but Youngster, that timing on the smoke couldn't be any better. Just as the 30-second mark hits, he drops a smoke, and they're going to have to fight through this. They've got a lot of U2. That's the one thing VP have got going for them. They should have the numbers. And judging by Flip, are they just calling for the save already? They might be. It looks like they are. I think they're going to set up for the save.
Super tense now, man. So tense. I mean, yeah, they just cannot afford to take any chances, and I think they realized they were lucky in the previous round. Heroic are going to be pretty well drilled here, dialed in for this super important round. So, yeah, they do not want to take any chances with it. And they'll just give it a go in the next. So, slow round. Kind of a nothing round from VP, unfortunately for them. But they still have the one in the ascendancy. See if they can hold on to that. Of course, listen, as you look at it, it's only one round that they've picked up in this second half. So,
yeah,
the onus is on Heroic here to keep answering.
Absolutely. And these individuals are really having the moment. I mean, Tanir 3-0 in opening duels. LNZ, he's been a part of 6 of them. Split down the middle. They're so happy to fight up against VP now and make them feel uncomfortable. Ollie's good. And we'll just tick on towards Perfecto. It's information to be gained. No spam behind it. It's setting up for just a simple B hit. Everyone's here. 2 from Heroic. And Youngster, he's changed the angle of where his jump peaks are at. He spotted them, though. Molly, great timing. He's going to boost up onto a site. I like this play.
Oh, man. They seem to have a bit of an idea, maybe. I'm not sure. There's a lot of players already here, though. So, indeed, Tanir goes overlooked. Nice smoke on the site. Gives him some space to work with. Hello? Oh, they've traded places in the smoke. Goodness me, what a mess. Tanir does find another. He's dropped that bomb in the apartments as well. So there's a lot of backtracking going to be required, but we never even get there. Heroic read it, and Heroic demolish them.
Tanir's done so well there. That's such a dicey spot where one wrong move, he dies for nothing. Then the round's actually on. Really well played. Great start here, but it's Tanir who's really the closer in this one. Nice work from him. And Heroic, slowly but surely, getting closer and closer. 9-all now as we get tied up. We have a half buy coming through for VP. Double Glil, double take 9, P250. They've already won a round like this, so that's the one thing that I try and kind of mentally fall back on. But man alive, VP, in the same vein that the first half from Heroic was pretty flat and a little bit off their game. Same thing has to be said for VP here now as well. And actually very similar to how map number 1 was. The first half, back and forth and tough to call. The second half, especially when we got towards the end of it, one-way traffic. No way.
Oh, Fame somehow finding that. Electronic also gets a kill of his own. Tanir not ready for the next man. Oh, but he still gets it anyway. I mean, yeah, just pure chaos once again. The A-bomb site has fallen. The bomb itself pretty late. This is just pure chaos again. Youngster spotted at CT. Tanir moving forwards. I mean, he could deny the cross hit. He's got a good position. Smoke comes in towards Firebox. Well read. Easy find there. His teammate will go down. He maybe just needed one. A little bit of assistance. Eight's going to be required. Can he get it? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. And Tanir turns the heads and gets number 10 for Heroic.
The real agent of chaos, isn't he, right? He thrives in situations like that where he just flies into fights. Tanir keeps lifting this side up, keeps finding moments, and that is another masterful isolation of fights. So well played from him. Yeah, look what it means as well. The screams come through. That is sickening. Double digits. Flashbang catches only Fame to kickstart round number 20. But a 10-9. Back into the buy-in with money in a feeble spot long-term for VP. If you lose this, Heroic, map series, stage 2 point. They'd be playing for overtime, more or less.
All to play for all of a sudden, and Tanir feels like he's just upped the stakes even more. Boost coming in towards shorts. This is so weird, man. There's a big panel in the way, so they can't spot each other. Just trading bits of damage through it. It's a little more for VP than it is for Heroic, but no kill, no control for VP, importantly.
Smoke down. Back in towards window, so mid-control still this priority. Molly over towards short, but they are long gone. Heroic, this is a similar thing they did a little bit on Overpass, where sort of saying to VP, if you want to take map control, we'll give it to you. We're just going to sit on the sides and wait for you to make your decision. We'll keep on you till this is a bold move, though, and it could actually work out for them. No, it doesn't. It's damage, but it's not enough for the kill. If it's an AWP on the swing there, he might have a chance, but unfortunately, that's worked against him. Youngster needs to be super careful as well. It's a tough angle to fight from. Electronic spots one as he drops down. Nilo up close as well. This is so precarious. There's so many bodies around this corner. I don't know what you do from here with a molly on your back, but he gets 2 before falling, and Grix nails a corker of a shot, and oh my god, Tanir steps up again. 1 versus 2. Heroic have flipped the odds on this round. Icy, AK, 10 points of HP, no util on a dream in a 1v2 to keep VP's chances alive, it feels. And the first gets caught on the drive-by. What a swing. Tanir again with 2 monstrous kills, but Nilo, a double that was insurmountably important from him on the same side. That's 11 for Heroic, and maybe even heartbreak for VP2.
Superlative rounds coming in here from Heroic, and particularly Tanir. Absolutely insane. We missed a second Nilo kill there on the replays, but that was also hella clean. Yes, well, I should think so. I should think so. How do we ever lose that? Just runs through your mind. They were in such a good spot, and somehow it falls apart.
Alrighty. Well, with that bomb plant, and of course, as you can see in the bottom left, they got full loss bonus. Thankfully, they do get an investment, but my god, I mean, such a horrible spot that VP find themselves in. Finn, the coach, comes on the mic to try and, I guess, calm them down a bit, but Heroic looks so close now. Orb wasn't saved, reinvested back in, but it shouldn't really have too much of a knock-on effect in terms of the finances later down the line for the CT side. He goes through. Electronic takes a little bit. He's going to move through mid, and he is given this luxury. He just has to be a bit careful of Nilo into a short, but he's snuck his way in that smoke. Might be a bit of a chance here. Grig's going to find the first, though. LNZ's under a lot of pressure, and Electronic dairy pounces. Good work, but he moves back in towards mid. It could cost him his life, and it will.
Where's the game gone, man? This is just
it's
TDM, bro.
It is head loss.
Crazy. And I think it is just something that Heroic are always going to be better at. Young players, puggers. They obviously have Tanir just popping off. He's not been required in this round, but their individuals look better. And VP, I think it is the best way to describe it. Just no idea what they're doing. Run out of ideas. And this happens a lot to this team, man. It goes like close, or they're 8-4, maybe a winnable scoreline, sure. But I think we saw the same against Gamer Legion on Ancient, if I remember correctly. Like, it just fell apart, and they start calling the most mental rounds, really trying to force their way back into the game.
Agreed.
I think the emotions run high is the thing. And look, especially when you're on the T side, you just got to look at the round that's in front of you. Just call something that should work, regardless of whether it's 10-10 or 2-2. Just call the round that you're confident in and play it cleanly. But this is sort of anything but at this point. Perfecto draws it out, but he will go down. All right, that's not very nice. 12 rounds. 12 rounds now for Heroic, as they will find themselves looking down the barrel of match point.
Yeah. Like I said, I think just pure head loss for VP. I mean, that round is so indicative that the call there was loose and was essentially, let's just go a little quick, do what you can, right? They've lost the plot a bit, and Heroic, I think they've mentally already won this series. It's just whether they can see over the line. Sometimes the 13th round's the hardest one to get, but it feels like with how VP are kind of gifting it to them, maybe not. Flit, he will get the first. Takes a lot of damage, but at least his individual mechanics are still there. It's been a slow map from him. Don't get me wrong. Tanir, he's got the right idea too. Double play towards under, but a Molotov will slow them down to start. Of course, no tick, but they did line up. Nilo had the chance at 2. Can't quite get it. The question being, though, well done, the player. Do you expect another? Perfecto just waiting. We're moving up towards top mid. And Tanir, Agent of Chaos, he's moving forward. Will he expect the second himself? No. So trades are favoring VP because Heroics aren't expecting them to be together.
This could be big, though. Not awful timing on the flank. I think they have to keep the pace up. They have to keep moving. And they will abandon the idea of a two-man. And the bomb's actually going downstairs. So now it really doesn't make a difference here. Flip might get caught. But it's not going to be B, fellas. It is going to be a wraparound. Pretty safe round here from VP. Nice little mid-round. I like this call. I like it a lot, in fact. The AWP is somewhat nearby, but he's not even checking. He's not even starting to doubt himself. Maybe now he will. Oh, and it could be good for him. It could be good. Molotov comes in. Bomb going to get dropped. 20 seconds. Immediately loses his head. Desperate for another kill, I suppose. Youngster's not in a bad spot as well, as he's been able to pick up the pace. Well-placed nade could thin the numbers here, but no, he loses out. And it's Perfecto again with the bailout moment for VP.
Yeah. You know, say what you want about this Virtus.pro side. Perfecto, since coming in towards his side, is such a solid factor. He, as you put it, has bailed them out of some really dicey spots. And I think the call from Youngster is the right call there. You got to go a little quick. You want to catch them off guard. Don't give them the chance to set up properly in that post plant. If they set up a crossfire, you've really got no chance of breaking it down. But VP stay alive for now. And this is where things do become a little interesting. If Heroic lose this round, probably going towards overtime. You look at the money for them, it's actually not doing too good, especially considering how well things were looking. Grix, he's flashed off the angle. He's just going to fall back. Yeah, this is a really interesting predicament we're in. VP, there is actually a real lifeline. It's round number 23. They find this. The 24 feels like it's probably a gift unless they fall short against a lesser buy.
Can certainly feel it in the round. Everybody playing a little tense. Window smoke comes in. Will be another B lean. They have those players in the underpass looking for a keen opportunity in the same way that they did in the previous round. And to be fair, there's no direct eyes on it, so maybe they have figured out a little hole in the Heroic defense here. So they're going to drop down window. Got to be careful. Goodness me, he will be heard. The boost up as well to follow him. Ooh, taking a peek.
I don't love this.
Now there's a man to follow up. Yeah, this is super, super awkward. He will be able to survive it. Quick 1-for-1 there, up through Con. Grix with the drop. There's only 25 seconds for that bomb, and they need control of the A bomb site to get it down. Youngster watching from short.
Oh.
Smoke goes in, but this is just not looking good. I mean, to get the plant here, like, how are they going to do it? How are they going to do it? Flip has got to find so many kills to open up this site. The plant just coming in, but he's a bit too chubby around that corner. Electronics feet sticking out will let him down, and that is that. Heroic move forward to stage 2.
You gotta say as well, with especially how they recovered in that map, really, really deservedly so. Heroic were looking quite flat in that first half, but